Hello.
Hi, Marie. How you doing?
Hi, good. How are you?
Good. Um, Question for today, because I've got a couple good stories. Do values matter anymore? I
Yes.
don't know. Well, I would
They,
like to think they matter. Okay, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't
they
know.
do.
I'm gonna. I have two stories to tell you. The first one is I was food shopping today. Okay, food shopping. I go pick everything, put everything in my cart. I'm a good little doobie. I bring my recycled bags so I don't have to use the bags there, yada, yada, yada. My value of protecting the earth. So that's my first value. But I walk to my car and I'm ready to put the stuff in my car and return my cart or buggy or shopping cart, whatever you want to call it, all
Yeah.
over these United States. And there's a guy that's parked right next to me, sees me walking to my car, and puts his cart right in front of my car, right in front of my car. And I thought, really? You can't walk your dead ass 25 feet to go put the cart into where everybody places the cart. So I look at him and I say, really? And he says, relax, I'll get it. Doesn't even say, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, this, I'm that. And with that, I said, I've got it, guy. And so where was his manners? Where was his sense of courtesy? It's like, what kind of
Let
values
me.
and where were you raised?
You
Hmm,
know what that is? His wife,
what?
his poor wife. He probably leaves all the stuff out when he makes something for freaking lunch. He probably
Yeah,
leaves the butter knife out. Yeah, he's a disaster. That's what that
yeah.
is.
Well, so I took
Just so
it
you
and
know.
I just returned the cart and I
You
give
you had
him
values.
the Helen dirty looks like and nothing. Just walks away. I thought, me. But
Hopefully, action speaks louder than words. Maybe he saw like what you were doing, and he was like, "Oh, maybe
well,
I should have done that."
Marie,
Yep.
do we have to shame people into having values at this point? Sometimes I remember my parents saying, "This world's going to hell," and I thought, "What are you talking about? No, 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 it's not." And then I have become my parents, where I'm thinking, "This world is going to hell," because okay, I've got so many pet peeves that just make yourselves comfortable. Okay, um, hi Denise, hi Susan, hi Karen. But I have to tell you, all right, what about when you're driving along on the highway,
Uh-huh.
okay, and somebody just moves right on over, and you kind of slow down to let them over. Do you think a little wave would hurt? Like, thank you, okay. When somebody lets me cut ahead of them,
Yeah.
say if I'm on Hempstead Turnpike, okay, all right, I'm waiting, I'm letting you come in. I did a
Yeah.
little thank you, and I drive along. Whatever happened to people saying thank you? Where were you raised, in a barn? Just saying. I, oh, it just drives me crazy. Hi, TJ. It just drives me crazy. Where do we learn our values? When did these values change? Somebody give me something. I've got a headache. I'm not kidding. What is
Well, that's
going on?
well, that could be values, but that's also that could be a pet peeve show. Pet
Well,
peeve.
maybe.
There's a
Okay,
fine
you
line.
kind of you kind of got me there with the pet peeve show. I said, "Oh, well, maybe you could." But no, but it's values, Lisa. Like,
I know.
say
I know.
thank you. Move the cart. Move your dead ass. Move the cart, for
And I
God's
hate
sake.
when people say like, "Oh, their parents didn't instill that in them." That's not the case. You know that everybody grows up and has their own like way.
Yeah, Marie. Yeah. I think she said, yeah.
Sometimes we'll freeze. If you see us freeze, that's okay. We'll come back. Marie froze just for a moment. You
Okay.
froze for a
I
moment, but
froze.
you're
I'm
good.
sorry.
No,
Okay,
no, you're
Marie, what
fine.
did you say? What did you say?
I just said that, it's sometimes it's something that everyone goes, "Oh, what did their parent teach them?" They didn't teach
Right.
them morals or values, but there's sometimes I see my kids do something and I'm like, "I taught you better than that. Why are you doing that?" Because they grow into their own being and sometimes they have to learn from an
Yeah.
instant, like the cart and the woman's face making a face at them. Like, well, I'm serious,
Okay.
like.
Yeah, but Marie, what do you do when, all right, so say your kids, because, all right, you're raising your kids right and everything like that, and you catch them doing something that doesn't agree with your values. What do you do? Aside
I
from, I got the wooden spoon. That was fun. But,
You guide them. Well, it depends. It's really an age
I
thing
mean,
too.
obviously it
What's the
depends on the
age?
level. I'm frozen. I'm
Yeah.
frozen again. Oh, I'm back again.
okay.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Okay.
Might be your internet. I don't know how your internet is.
TJ says values are becoming a lost art. I'm agreeing with you. And now, before, Lisa's got a bunch of fun facts that I want her to share, but I've got a major, this really upset me today. Okay. Really upset me. So just bear with me for about 2 seconds. Okay. We all know about the passing of Matthew Perry, and very sad, 54 years old.
Heartbroken.
But what I liked about him is he met his demons head on. He challenged them. He devoted the last part of his life to helping people, which I thought was really great, because it's really brave to put yourself out there and be so vulnerable. Okay. So, all right. So this moron of a comic, I'm not going to mention his name because he does not deserve to be mentioned. Oh my God, what did he say? He said, ha, 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 he drowned in a hot tub. That's what he said. Okay. And he's getting a lot of, a comic said that. Some comedian, some guy said that. He said he drowned in a hot tub. Ha, 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 ha. And he got a lot of pushback for it. Okay. That's number one. Where did the civility go? Then he says another thing. He said, I'm so glad when a junkie dies. That's what he said. Okay. Next thing. And then he said, am I trending yet? So were you so concerned about your lack of kindness towards a human being that died, towards his friends, towards his family that are grieving, and yet you took this situation and you made it funny, or you thought it was funny? It wasn't funny to me, but it kind of shocked me that, where are your values, guy? Am I trending yet? You were more concerned about getting attention and being cruel to other people. So where were his values? It blew me away. It blew me away. I had to say that. It just blew me away.
Wow.
So
I don't,
give me some comments, guys, because I got to tell you, I was just blown
throat punch
away.
him.
Yeah, I would too.
Marie's laughing. I would just that's awful.
Isn't that awful? That somebody would do that?
Actually, it's very disgusting.
Yeah.
And that's not going to really do him well in life either.
No.
Is it a young comic?
No, actually, he's in his 60s.
Seriously.
Yeah. And so
somebody that knows better.
Yeah. But I'm not going to mention his name. He doesn't deserve to be mentioned.
He's obviously desperate. So
but my point being of telling this story is, where are his values? I just want to get the attention. I need the attention. You must be one secure person, and like Denise says, awful human just looking for self-promotion, who should know better. Absolutely. So where do we learn our values? Marie already gave us one. Where do we learn our values? Where?
Our parents.
Okay. Where else?
Family, traditions, grandparents,
teachers.
I think
friends.
Your religion background is a very big. I think of those things that you're taught in your religion are major values that you are instilled, and I think in life experiences you learn why they're so important.
Sure, absolutely. But what do you do, like Marie, when you said, where do these values go off the rails, and why does this happen? Because I think in our country, civility, kindness, which is a very big value, and we all want to be kind. I feel like kindness has just gone by the wayside. And it's like, why is this happening? It throws me. It just really does. It shows it just, I get worried for our country sometimes. I really do. And
all the time.
as we get older, do our values change? I think they do.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Because you change. Yeah.
Okay.
I think also circumstances in your life make you view things differently and view your values differently.
Okay.
Perspective.
Yeah, absolutely.
Situations.
Maybe some things that don't even, I feel like when we were younger, these things were, some things that would happen to you would be so big and, serious to you, where now it's not. And maybe your way of handling it, or even I feel like the way I tell my kids something or explain it to them is different from what I would have when I was younger, where I give them the experiences
Absolutely.
now of how like I feel about something now. I mean,
Okay.
I really value like teaching them manners and teaching them things. I think I spend probably, I don't want to say I'm the only one, but we spend a lot of time on that with them.
Mhm.
Where I don't know if that's really like a general conversation with most people.
I think it starts at a young age. I would
I
imagine
agree.
probably at a very young age, you teach them values. I think my kids, they they learned at a very young age. You want nice, pretty things. You work for it. And
Yeah.
they all started working when they were like 15 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Joey might have been a little bit
Mhm.
younger. He might have been 14. Um, you want these things. You value all the nice things that you have. You're not just gonna get it by looking pretty.
And I also think
You're
they
gonna get it by working.
and they also
Mhm.
see, your parents as an example
Yeah.
of they work hard. And we just had this conversation. I just had this conversation with my husband the other day. I said, it's okay when they see that things don't come easy too. I
Yep.
feel like they
Yeah.
need to know both ends, not just,
Mhm.
we
Yep.
work hard and you get something you want. Or there's times that it can't be produced. You can't have it. And we're
Yep.
still working hard.
Yep.
I think
Mhm.
experience, you're teaching your children the most by them watching how you handle something, whether it's manners or religion or,
Mhm.
any of that stuff. Well, that's where
Well,
things get instilled.
go ahead,
Speaking
Lise.
speaking
Yeah.
of religion, I thought this was an interesting fact, doing research on this subject.
Mhm.
Did you all know 13% of the divorces are due to different religious beliefs?
I believe it. Yeah.
I believe it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep.
Sure.
Um, and fun fact, value date night. This I love because I just talked to Danny about this the other day when I was looking this up and getting some information. We already do this and don't even realize that we do it. He and I, and it's actually a thing. Value date night. So it's when two people will keep their relationship fresh by having a value date night. So you sit down together and you discuss your values, your shared values, your
Mm.
personal values, your goals, what you're looking to achieve. And then you constructively, if you could do it, talk about your differences,
Mm.
because sometimes you don't have the same values as your husband or your wife because you were brought up differently
Yeah.
you know so I mean, I think it goes hand in hand too. If you're a different religion, if one's celebrating Hanukkah around Christmas and the other one grew up celebrating Christmas, I'm sure you come together prior to getting together, being married and having children and decide where you're going to go with that, you know
Right.
how they're going to be raised.
You know what? I would do that. My next relationship, before I even get deeper involved with somebody, the first date, you're sending your representative. Second date, you're having a good time. By the third date, I would sit down
Okay.
absolutely and have a talk about what our values are and things like that. I think that's really important. I really do. So I
Absolutely.
think that's
And I
great
don't
that
know.
you guys do that.
I mean, you tell me. I don't know if that's really something you discuss when you like my husband and I started dating in our 20s. I don't think that's something we actually sat down and discussed.
Well, that's because I think you were younger. But I
Right.
mean, for me, I think as an older person, I wouldn't want to waste
Yes.
time with
No, I'm saying
somebody
now.
that I just, I just wouldn't want to waste time if our
No,
values were too far apart. But
I
yeah, I
agree. But
think
I
in your
think
20s,
now,
you're just going for the lust.
yeah. But now I'm like, wow, these are a lot of conversations. So I'll talk to my kids about that when you're meeting someone or you start dating. Like these are things that you should really discuss. Not that that's the
Mhm.
person they're marrying, but just in general. Like I really think you guys should discuss this stuff. It
You know,
changes
you,
as you go on.
absolutely. As you get older, it does change.
Mhm.
But, values can be positive and negative too. People can
Absolutely.
have negative values. Say if somebody is bigoted or something like that, that's a negative value. And, you don't know if you could, change somebody's outlook about something like that. So,
I
they
agree.
can be both positive and negative.
The
And
big
Karen,
ones.
yeah, she asks about political values. Lisa, you had a list about how many values there are. So read them off. I want to hear these.
There's moral, cultural, personal,
Hmm.
social,
Hmm.
religious, aesthetic, economic. Um,
Did you say professional?
no,
Yeah,
actually.
because
That should
professional
be
would be,
one.
well, it should be one because you want somebody who's honest and who's not a
Yeah,
thief. So,
yeah.
that could be definitely a negative value where, oh, I can rob these people blind as opposed to something like that.
I
But
also would look at professional as like what you value, how far you want to go in your career.
or
Some
hard
people
work.
may say like I'm good here, where the other
Hmm.
person wants to continue and they have a problem with it.
Hmm. Denise says, I hate to say it, but I think the political climate has changed many people's views on values. I would agree with that, but we're not going to go there today because I will tell you, whenever I've discussed politics, I've been screamed at, yelled at, hung up on. So I don't do that anymore. But I do agree with you, Denise, that, yeah, that has been the case. But okay. Do we have a list of personal values? Because I have a list that I could read off. Do you have a list, Lise?
No, I'm not
Oh,
prepared. Okay, I'm
oh,
just
yes,
not.
you are. Oh, yes, you are. Stop it.
I'm
Okay,
not
here's
prepared.
here's a list of values. Okay,
Okay.
think about these: loyalty. I'd want that. Spirituality,
Oh,
humility,
yeah.
compassion, honesty,
Adaptability.
kindness, adaptability. Yes,
I do
integrity.
have a list. I have a
See,
list. I found my list.
I'm going to finish mine, then you come on in.
You said some of them already.
All right, sorry. Determination, like I'm determined.
Empathy.
Generosity, courage,
Empathy.
empathy, tolerance,
That's a big one.
trustworthiness. Yeah. Equanimity. Yeah. I'm like, what does that mean?
Faith and
Altruism.
belief.
Yes. Appreciation, toughness, and resilience, self-reliance, and attentiveness.
Did you say
Okay.
communication?
No, but I think that's a very good one. So now I'm
That's the
going to ask both
foundation
of
of
you.
everything.
Absolutely. So now, what are your favorite, most important values?
Oh, shoot. Marie, go first.
My first is our faith, and our
Oh,
religion. Hmm.
That's beautiful.
oh, I love that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Why? Didn't know I'd
Um,
put you on the spot, did you?
no, it's
But
okay. I
it's
can
what I
always.
do. Cheers. Cheers to
Marie
I
said,
get
that.
any.
I'm never going to go on their show
No,
again.
she didn't give me any preparation or anything.
It's what
Nothing.
it's
Diving
what I
in.
do, Marie. I won't let
Jump
Lisa
in.
talk. Marie, I will not let Lisa talk to me about the show before we get on a half an hour before the show begins to talk kind of about the show, and I'll say stop, 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 stop. Don't tell
Yeah.
me anything because this is extemporaneous. So
Usually
all
I
right,
have like
so
scenarios. I usually have like a lot
yeah,
more, and I
right,
didn't.
I think I touched on my reason for religion
yes,
because I feel like
okay,
it's what you're believing in, and it's instilling, and I think that I think that's probably one of the first things you're teaching your children. And
okay,
I always revert back to that because that's what I think about when you're teaching like manners and what matters.
Mhm.
So I feel like religion, and it's also a good way of being disciplined. Not
okay.
by far perfect, but sometimes when I want to say something to the person on the road, I try to bring it back. you know,
Blessings,
yes,
blessings.
I try. I'm not always that good. Then I
Yeah.
catch myself, but I just feel like religion is something that should be, and
Okay.
that is to me.
Yep.
I think what you mean by religion is encompassing a lot of good
It's
stuff, not just when you
values.
said religion, I was like, she means going to church all the time.
No,
So, I was
no,
like,
I go to
oh,
church a lot, but I don't think
okay.
that I go to church because I want to go to church, not because I was
Okay.
told to go to church. Um,
Ah,
I have a
okay.
very
I think
strong
that's
faith.
important.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I don't believe that you have to go to church to have a strong faith or relationship. I
Yep.
take parts of my day, my hour there. I believe it's what you do throughout your day and your week, which really matters to what your faith is and how you're giving back. And what you do in your general life, not what you
Yeah.
do in that hour,
How you
you know.
treat others, how you
Okay.
treat yourself. I think it's important, I I actually just got Danny bought me a Bible because I've never read the Bible.
I have
So
not
we
read the
just
Bible, and that's on my list. It's funny because I have it next to my bed, and it's on my list of things to do.
Yeah. So that's like one of the things that's important. Like I bought him one, he bought me one. It's pretty funny.
I like that.
Um, and I follow along. I have a prayer book that he bought me, and I follow along with that. But I was
I
going
think
somewhere
that's
with this.
lovely. I think that's
Um,
lovely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Because
It's
there's a
beautiful,
lot I
actually.
don't know. I mean, we can have a whole show on that because I
I want to
made
be in
my
for that one.
absolutely.
You
Made my
got it.
you might have even been there. It was so long ago, but I made my confirmation in front of our whole community in Rocky Point because I
Really,
didn't make it as a child, and I did later on at St. Anthony's. But anyway,
that's awesome.
um, I think that faith and talking about faith and having faith and learning all those things together is important
Very.
to grow and just to be with each other. I would
Okay.
say, in addition to that, adaptability.
Is that your favorite? That's your favorite
Adaptive,
value?
yeah, that's my
Okay.
favorite, and here's why. Okay, because it helps you evolve and build and grow.
Okay.
Okay,
Very
you
good
have to
point.
adapt to every scenario, every single day in life, all the outside noise, and still stay true to who you are
Okay.
and be calm and not curse somebody out. So I'm just teasing
No,
about
it's
that
and
part.
that
Were you referring to me by any
No,
chance? Just asking.
no. But I think especially in today's world, not the world we lived in when we grew up, things are different now. And I think you have to adapt way more. And I think you have
Mhm.
to really be strong in your value to remain calm and just accept things as they are and grow
Okay.
with that.
Okay.
That's what I would say.
Okay. Um, my favorite value actually is kindness, but I have three: kindness, empathy, and compassion. Because I thought about this because I had the list in front of me so I could figure it out. So I'm sorry I put you two on the spot, but you did great. But I like kindness because I think that kind of engulfs. I think it engulfs religion, number one,
Hmm.
and I think adaptability is very important. But I would put that um, in with resilience.
Mm,
Okay, that that you're resilient and you go with the flow and you go with the
yeah,
you roll with the punches. So I think
yeah.
that's really important. Hi, Nina. But why do we think values are so important to to a relationship? Now, before you answer that, a friend of mine, Mark Siegel, answered that for me, and I'm going to read what he said. And he said, "Values do matter. As a coach, the first thing I do is elicit my clients' values, and this becomes a basis for all decisions," which I think is very interesting and I think is true. Your values are a basis for your
yeah.
decision. But he
Yep.
said when a decision is valued and based obviously aligned on your values. I wrote this very quickly. Also has the longevity of your values. I believe this is key for any relationship. Basically, your values are going to decide if your relationship is going to make it or break it,
Yeah.
basically. And I definitely agree with that. And we discussed that a little bit before that, with a relationship, um, you know, uh, I don't think I date anybody long term if they didn't have the same values I do. Um, and I'd be hard pressed if somebody here's a value for you. I lost my train of thought. That's why I went off in la la land. But give me a second. Okay. Um, what do you think about how people treat a wait staff? Treat waiters and waitresses. What do you think of
It
that?
says a lot about them.
Yeah, it
It says a
does.
lot about them. If
Mm-hmm.
it,
Well,
um
mm-hmm.
go ahead, Marie. You gonna say something?
No,
Oh,
I'm putting my thoughts. I'm waiting for you to see where you go
they're
with it.
they're they're n- they're not nice people. You know, that
No,
shows their character if they're not treating the wait staff.
character. That's a good word.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it
Yeah.
shows their character if they're not treating them
Yeah.
well. You know, they're not going to
Well,
treat
that,
anybody with
well,
kindness.
Do you
well,
feel like,
values. Go ahead. Go
Helen,
ahead,
do you
Marie.
feel like did you bring like wait staff up because they're serving? Is that, and they're the customer, or are you, what made you pick that as an example?
Because I have been out to dinner with people and they've treated the wait staff rudely, and I call them on it. I've called them on it, number one. Or number two, I never go out with that person again. But yet their values are, do you think you're better than somebody else? Do
Right.
you
That's what,
think,
Mm,
yeah.
because I say thank you 24/7, 365 all the time. I'm big in gratitude.
I,
And that's so very important to me. And you see, I'm still a work in progress, because if somebody doesn't say thank you when I do something, I'm not looking for that pat on the back. And it's like, well, you could have at least said thank you,
right.
but sometimes it just makes me a little crazy. But Denise says kindness, integrity, and compassion. I agree.
hmm
And
Yeah.
Nina says, I once heard a study that said spontaneity was one of the common traits or values among happiest families.
Mm.
I'm about as spontaneous as a chair, so I guess I'm doomed to be
Me either.
miserable.
Nope,
Yeah, I'm
don't
not
like it.
spontaneous.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Somebody says, pack a bag, we're going away for the weekend. I said, have a good time. No,
Yeah.
goodbye. Yeah,
Well,
not for me. Yeah.
you should try it though.
Well, you get,
We should all try that.
I don't know if I can do it.
no, no.
No?
Okay.
The kids are older. Just pack a bag, Marie.
It's one of
Oh,
those
look
things
at
that I
that.
actually know. I actually know that it's like something that I'm just not good at. I've
Aw.
learned to accept those things now.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
one
hear
day.
you.
Um,
I'm reading.
Values.
those people that are, and I'm sorry, Lisa, those people
No.
that like don't treat wait staff properly. I have a little bit of a problem with this because I'm in food service, but I just feel
Mhm.
like they're very shallow. They have
Yeah.
Well,
no
yeah.
idea. They have no idea. And it's not always like the person you're dealing with. There's a whole slew of people, and there's 100 different ways of handling something you're not happy with.
Yep.
Not
Well,
everything is
yeah,
perfect in the
absolutely.
world, and they're human beings, and even computers don't make, computers make errors also. So like, I just feel like, it's not that big of a deal.
Yep.
Well, you see, but then we go back to values.
Yeah, right.
Then I'm
Well,
thinking when people act like that, it's like, again, what goes through my head? Were you raised in a barn? Do you not have any
I don't know.
manners? What happened? It kind of shocks me a lot of the time when I see
Yeah.
people acting rude, when I see people acting mean. And not to go back to the story I told you about that stupid comic, but just blew me away, the cruelty that you were just so concerned about, am I trending yet? And TJ said before in the comments, the guy's a failure. And he is.
Yeah.
And he is.
1,000%.
Absolutely is.
hmm
But now, what is one value? Okay, we talked about religion, adaptability. I said kindness. What is one value? We mentioned these, but that you would never, ever, ever bend. What is one value you'll never go bend? I'll go first. Loyalty. I will never bend on loyalty ever. If we're
Yeah.
all out together and somebody starts bad mouthing Lisa, I will say, just a minute, hang on there, and I'll have Lisa's back, because Lisa had my back a few years back, actually. But loyalty is very important to me. That's a value I would never bend.
Yep.
So you guys got any thoughts on that? That's really, to me, loyalty is very important. So what about you guys? Do you
I
have
hold
anything?
I hold loyalty very high.
Yep.
There's
Mhm.
nothing there. You can ask a lot of my friends. They'll tell you they've heard this from me. There is nothing more important for somebody to come to me and feel that they can confide in me. So your loyalty with Lisa is different. I think there's different ways of having loyalty, but to coming to
Sure.
confide to me or telling something like, I really need to talk to you about something, please don't say anything. And having that, like, I don't even tell my husband some stuff because I'm always afraid of like that circumstance of maybe he's going to slip and say something.
hmm
I hold that loyalty so high because I also will not relinquish something to someone unless I feel that I have that loyalty from them.
Same.
So yeah, like the things I'm going to my grave with, that's what
Yep.
I'm going to
Good
say.
for you. Well,
No,
good
Yeah.
for you.
very important.
That's the way it's supposed to be.
That
Karen
can go
says,
hand. Oh, sorry.
no, I'm going to say Karen says compassion. We'll come back to Karen, but go ahead, Lisa. Go ahead.
Loyalty and trust. I think that
Mm,
goes hand in hand with what you were
yeah.
saying, Marie.
1,000%.
Trust. You add that, and that will never bend.
Hmm.
I I can't think of anything better than that.
No.
Hmm. Absolutely.
Loyalty. And I think there's no gray area there. I think some people will think that there's a gray area.
Yep.
There's no in between. You're
No.
either loyal or you're not, and it's not something that you learn to be. You either are or you're not.
That's
I
There's
agree.
true.
nothing.
Well,
Um,
Well, you
what
might
do we,
learn to be loyal because of something that's happened to you. Not that you weren't, but you really hold that standard very high, right?
yeah,
Whereas some people may not have in your life, and you're like, okay, well, that's something I never want anyone to ever feel from me.
yep,
So I'm going to make sure that I
yep,
never that's something I'm going to consider always in my friendships, my relationships.
now
absolutely.
we got two more. We got another comment about compassion. Denise says loyalty, definitely, absolutely. But two things on compassion. If you girls wanna, if Karen and Nina, you wanna expound on that, this is expanding. If you guys want to expound on that, please do, and let us know, because there's empathy and compassion, which I
Mm-hmm.
think are two very good values. And I had to look up the difference between these two because I really wasn't sure what they were. So I'll tell you. Empathy is where you are trying to understand the other person's, you put yourself in their shoes and you try to
Yeah,
understand how they feel. Okay.
that's an
Um,
empath. And if you're an empath,
you froze. Come back here. No, you froze, kiddo. Lisa. Isn't that a
Good thing it's
song?
not
No,
just me.
no. It should be me next.
can you see
Lisa,
me?
Oh, there you are.
yeah, but you have to repeat what you just said. We missed everything.
Empathy. uh, it,
Hmm.
Empaths. If anybody here knows what an empath is, it's
Hmm.
overwhelming to have that because you will feel emotions, you will feel other people's energies. It,
Hmm.
it's it. Oh, she wrote a lot. Nina, I'll read that one second. But it is a little different from compassion. So you explain compassion, and then I'll read Nina's comment.
Okay. Compassion is an emotional response to empathy, but it leads you to take some kind of action towards the situation.
Mm,
So empathy, you're just basically, the short version is you're feeling bad for somebody of what they're going through, and compassion is leading you towards action.
yep.
You still have the same feelings, but with compassion, you're thinking about taking action towards it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nina says it can be a little as a friend being hard on me when I couldn't make a 4th of July party when my husband was sick. Just a little compassion instead of making me feel bad for not making an event. I can't deal with people taking small things serious. Life gets in the way.
Uh-oh.
Life gets in the way sometimes. Yeah, I agree. At this point, when you do get older, you don't sweat the small stuff. You just don't. Especially when, life events get in the way, somebody getting sick or something like that. It's
Yeah.
just, I yeah.
It's
I w-
circumstantial. And I feel like
yeah.
people don't, unless it's happening to them, I don't think people ever put themselves in the other place like, all right, like your emotions are flying at that point, right? You're
Mhm.
upset they didn't come, you really wanted them to be there, spend time with them. But then like if you stop for a second, put yourself in that place, you kind of go,
Hmm.
oh, well, yeah, maybe I would look at it differently. Maybe I would feel
Hmm.
differently.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're absolutely right. Karen says no judgment. I think we're all
Mm.
so very quick to judge. I know I still do it too, but now I catch myself and I say, what am I supposed to learn from this situation? What's
Mhm.
bothering me
Yeah.
about this situation? What's triggering me about this situation? And what am I supposed to learn? But we all can be judgmental on, oh God, a scale of 1 to 10. But we try to just, at this point, I think as we get older, we try to say, okay, all right, is this really worth getting upset about, like Nina's situation, or, just judging somebody else. Why do we have to do that? To bring this round robin again, it's, where have the values gone these days? It blows my mind. It just does. And, a lot of times we forget about the little things that get done for us, though. Like when somebody opens the door for us or holds the door for us when we're going in to get a cup of coffee, or we're going to the grocery store and stuff like that. A lot of times we forget the little stuff. And those are good values where somebody is trying to do something nice for somebody, and a little action of kindness. And little actions of kindness, you do enough of them, they get built up. Just saying. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Ooh, I'm exhausted. Yeah.
All right.
I think we're good.
We'll end there, right?
Yeah.
Marie, hang tight. Don't go anywhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Yep, but stay there. Don't go anywhere. You're not done yet. Next Monday we have November 6th, right?
Yes.
Wait, hold on.
7th is Tuesday. It's election day.
Okay, hold on. I had a little typo in there.
Okay.
What?
Before we go any further, nobody, don't go anywhere yet. Anybody, I'm wearing pink one more time. And I'm imploring you, if you haven't gotten your mammograms yet, please do, for yourself, I'm going to kill you, Lisa. I love you.
We're gonna go there and bring her ourselves. That's what we're gonna do.
Thank you, Lisa. Please get your mammograms for yourself, for your family, for your dogs. Lisa, get your mammograms, please. And I'll be putting the pink away for another year. We are going to have a YouTube channel. So tell your friends. And it's not up and running yet, but we're going to have one. So if you don't make it to see us live, you can catch us on our YouTube channel. I just wanted to tell you that. And where can they catch us, Lisa, in the meantime?
Oh, hold on. Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, Google Podcast, Pocket Cast, and Radio Public.
And email. Oh,
email.
There we go.
Email.
There we are.
If you have it that you would like us to talk about.
Oh, no.
Lisa&Helen podcast@gmail.com. And and we got that, Lisa. Okay. And next Monday, November 6th, we're talking about rebound love, the joy and the pain, and missed opportunities. Thanks, everybody. Stay safe. We'll see you next week. Happy Halloween. Don't eat too much candy. Not that I have yet. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Lisa?
She's frozen.
I know. I don't know if we're on or off. Well, if we're on, thanks, everybody. Okay. Good night, Karen. Okay. It still says live?
Yes.
Oh, it does. Okay. So if I end stream, what does that mean? Let's see. Lisa. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. End stream.
It's just us. We're still live.
Are we really? We're still live. All right. I'm ending the stream. If you get cut off, we'll get right